It's that time again where a video gets very few views as I talk about a show and yet don't insult it in any way, shape or form. Enjoy, everybody. But first, let's enjoy the classic opening.
Where on earth is Carmen Sandiego?
Ah, but that's the trick, isn't it? She's not actually on Earth. She's in a forest, in a bottle, in a ship, in a maze. Do I impress you, dear viewer?
Where is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, where on earth can she be? Tell me where.
You know, as great as this intro might be, I still do prefer the quiz show's version.
Well, she sneaks around the world, Maria to Carolina. She's a sticky finger filter, bumbling down to Belize. Take you for a ride on the boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
We open with Carmen Sandiego doing the impossible, making a smart car look cool. Specifically by putting rockets onto it.
Give yourself up, Carmen Sandiego.
As she steals away Stonehenge, though they actually never say how.
A magician never reveals his tricks. I'm bound by the magician's code of ethics.
Well, that's awfully convenient, isn't it? That sounds like something a witch would say!
Kill the witch!
Before, as usual, taunting the player/audience.
I've just pulled off one of my most daring thefts ever. You won't get away with it, Carmen.
And I still kind of question whether everything the kid sees on that computer screen is actually on that computer and not just in his mind. I mean, his entire room looks like it's theatrically staged. We find our two protagonists on the streets of San Francisco.
Oh no, look at this, Zach! My horoscope is awful today.
She's a secret agent, and she believes in horoscopes.
Oh, you're not one to listen to reason. I get that. I respect that. You idiot.
The pair are whisked away to London, but not before it seems like the show expected a huge laugh from its audience.
You're heading across the Atlantic to England, or
hopping across the pond,
as the Brits like to say.
Yeah, sure, I don't think that was going to happen with that joke, but I will give you kudos on the fact you called Big Ben the bell and not the tower.
If you want good things to happen, Ivy, you gotta look on the bright side. I mean, hey, it could be raining.
See? I told you.
No, don't start. Your horoscope did not do this. England's a very wet country, Ivy. It rains almost 200 days a year.
Oh, it's not that bad. I mean, let's look at it right now. Believe it or not, that's a mild shower. Carmen leaves a surprise waiting for the pair in an over-the-top fashion.
Looks like Carmen's replacing Stonehenge with her own monolith.
Because I guess she learned how to be a supervillain from Megamind.
Oh, you're a villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Yeah? What's the difference?
Presentation!
Definitely not from the same place or time as Stonehenge. It looks South American.
Hey, give me that. It's Mayan.
I went up and got it.
No, not mine. Mayan.
Realizing that trying to find Carmen's exact location is pretty much a needle in a haystack, the pair go to talk to someone a little more knowledgeable on Mayan culture.
Oh, Chief! You know I don't do heights!
Zach, Ivy, good to see you.
Kwame from the Planeteers? I mean, look at him. Seriously, they have the same hairstyle and everything.
Amati, if I fell, would I survive?
Sure, until you hit the bottom.
Wait a minute, his name is Marty? Seriously? Huh, that's weirdly coincidental. Unless it finally happened, and Marty got fed up with the jokes about his stupid heart power and snapped, killed Kwame, skinned him, and is now wearing his skin so that he can control the powers of the Earth. Although, I guess that's not quite as bad as what happened to Gem and the holograms. Who knew spines could bend that way?
Some myths even say it's an ancient landing site for UFOs.
UFOs? But that's ridiculous.
Hey, it's a lot less ridiculous than you believing in that astrology junk. I, for one, think there could be intelligent life on other planets.
Comes this bugger all down here on Earth.
Marty, the skinwalker, gives the pair all the information they need, which leads me to wonder why he couldn't have been brought to them instead of the other way around, since hanging off a cliff does not seem like the best place for studying artifacts. But we have to move on to Mexico.
Out the floaties, cause this peninsula, my friends, is surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. The Mayans, who lived here over 1,500 years ago, were a very advanced American Indian people.
Going from the normal animation to the 3D animation to whatever the hell that is, it's like flipping between 480, 1080, and then 144p on YouTube. Arriving at the temple, our duo head inside and have apparently gone deaf as they're being stalked by a jaguar that's being none too subtle about hunting them. Though I do like the idea that as they were walking up the steps, the jaguar was following behind them step by step like some kind of Looney Tunes episode. After being chased by both Carmen's henchmen and then the jaguar, which was apparently patient enough to wait for them to run back toward it,
It's a jaguar! Run!
for which I would like to invent a brand new trope. It's called the Surprise-a-Mole. It's where any animal seems to display an above-average intelligence in waiting for its target to return and then acknowledge its existence before leaping out to attack it. The pair manage to capture Carmen's men, but learn she's nowhere nearby.
Puerto Rico's in the Atlantic Ocean. Fortune said she was headed to a Pacific island.
I'll alert the local authorities to pick up these two. I love alerting local authorities. You figure out where on earth Carmen Sandiego is.
He said it! He said it!
Another short history lesson gives our duo the information they need before talking about the crackpot theory of all crackpot theories.
Hey, the Mayans were big on astronomy, and some people, not many, I'm not naming names, but some people even believe they became such an advanced culture because they had, get this, help from extraterrestrials! Ah!
Carmen Sandiego, turning your kids into conspiracy theorists before they can spell either word.
Hey, it's wild, it's crazy, it's a big piece of fruitcake, but it explains the amazing similarities between the Mayan pyramids and the Egyptian pyramids, which were built thousands of miles and thousands of years apart.
If aliens helped build the pyramids, where are they now? Did they just leave?
You know what they say. History is written by the winners.
Look what Pakal had carved on his tomb. It almost looks like he's flying an ancient rocket ship.
No, I see a man having eaten the worst Mexican food of his life, but what do you think, Daria?
A herd of beautiful wild ponies running free across the plains.
The pair head to Easter Island in the shortest of visits ever, and I'm not kidding, it's like 30 seconds and they're gone again, as they follow Carmen to Australia, where she has set up a giant telescope in what appears to be an attempt to contact aliens. And apparently Carmen has begun using animatronic guards, if these two are any indication. So as expected, our duo tried to capture Carmen and fail, because Zach thought a helicopter was an alien spaceship.
A flying saucer! Oh, she did it, Ivy! Huh?
No, she didn't! That's no alien! That's one of her own hovercrafts!
And I couldn't make that up if I tried. Thus, ending the episode. So, I have a question.
What the hell was that?
Don't get me wrong, the show is still a force for good in that it's trying to teach kids at least little bits of history and geography. Even if I think that its attempts to talk about many subjects at once means you'll probably end up forgetting other parts. If a piece of information is brought up in the episode, it should be used in the episode, not just brought up and then forgotten again as a fact that could have been anything. While this episode is as good as you can expect from a 90s-based educational show, there is one problem. The plot for this episode feels like it makes no sense in comparison to the previous episode we looked at. In that one, we had Carmen wanting the world to see a masterpiece of art that she'd made. Here she's trying to contact aliens? Why? Does she know something we don't? Are all her fantastic thefts due to alien tech and she was trying to get replacements? And how did all the things she stole fit together? Because I certainly couldn't tell, and I'm not sure the writers knew either. I'll admit, though, that's my only real issue with the episode. Well, that and the Matee thing. Seriously, either he killed a guy, or that's the weirdest coincidence in history. But for now, I've been Tyas, this has been Tyas Looks At, and keep watching the skies. I mean, skies. Till next time.
If you want to see the next one of these videos early, why not donate some money to the Patreon page? or subscribe to this show's Facebook page or Twitter feed so that way you can know when the episode is released to the general public. No matter what, thanks for watching.
Well, she sneaks around the world from Maryland to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filter from Berlin down to Belize. Take you for a ride on the boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
There's so